Welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host Aurora, and I'm very happy to be spending some time with you today. Today I want to talk about masculinity, power, leadership, reclaiming your masculinity. Is this episode only for men? Absolutely not. We all have both energies roaming inside of us. And before I continue, I want to remind you to leave a review or rate my podcast here on Apple Podcast. I'm burning to know what you're thinking and feeling, and if this podcast is bringing you value and love, understanding into your life. Thank you so much, and now enjoy the rest of the episode. I feel we have a huge problem with masculinity. I feel a lot of men out there struggle with what is masculinity really? What do women want? What is our role in society? And the same goes for women as well. But I want to focus on the masculinity today and the women who express their feminine a little more than the masculine, still have that masculine part inside of themselves. And if they're not okay with masculinity in the external, they will also not accept and embrace their internal masculinity. So what are the little steps that we can take in order to make peace again? I think we have to look back in time first. We have to look at the patriarchy that was ruling the world for so long and that was shaping our society so strongly. And you will see that, there were a couple men in power. In most households, it was the guy who was earning the money. But what about the guys who suffered from that as well? It was not only women. Some of them enjoyed it thoroughly, but some women suffered enormously under the patriarchy. But what about the guys who suffered under it? It was crippling to their soul. It was restrictive. It was violent. It was not good for most men. And we have to see this. We can't put every man into that box of patriarchy and assume that every man is longing for that structure of society, because it is not the case. I invite us all to ask more questions, to go more into depth into what we really need and what we really want. And at the same time, we have to become more authentic. We have to authentically, fearlessly express what we need and want. And in order to do that, oh surprise, we have to know who we really are. Are you the son of your father and your mother? Are you the boyfriend of such and such? Are you the friend of such and such? Or are you your individual self and you make your decisions based on what you feel is inside of you and has to be expressed to the outside? And same goes for you if you are expressing your feminine on this planet. Are you the daughter of your father or your mother? Are you such and such wife, mother, sister? Who are you? And what is it that you want to express in this world? Because as soon as you express who you truly are and show up authentically as who you are, you will live such a fulfilled life. You will be able to enrich and encourage and inspire others, and you will attract people that are meant to be on your journey in your life. I feel we all struggle with the word power and leadership. We all have a very twisted feeling when it comes to power and leadership. We think it's a bad thing to claim power. It's a bad thing to be powerful. Well, what will happen if you believe that it is bad to express a longing for leadership and entrepreneurship? In very subtle ways, this suppressed energy will find a way to manipulate your way through life, to manipulate your relationships, and to play tricks on you, right? You're suppressing an energy that wants to be expressed, that wants to be out there to support others and lead others, yet you decide to suppress it. And what is going to happen with that energy? It's going to turn into depression, into bitterness, into manipulation, and lots of suffering. Instead of waking up and living your truth, you decide to stay in that closet. You decide to dim your light and to not share with people with what you identify with truly, with who you are in this world. When it comes to masculinity, masculine energy is forward, is penetrating, is sometimes maybe a little bit forceful, but it doesn't have to be threatening. If we women learn to stand our woman and to be empowered, we will not be intimidated of that energy anymore and feel the need to castrate and to humiliate and to blame and shame. We will take that energy and receive it. If we feel this is the right person to do it with, we will receive that energy and we will in turn become this super magical power of feminine energy who wants to nurture and who wants to create and who wants to be dancing and singing. Yeah? We will be receiving the masculine energy instead of trying to manipulate and control it, blame it and shame it, and overly telling how we want things to be and need things to look like, which is controlling. We will appreciate and trust the masculine again. Trust that the masculine energy that we all carry inside of ourselves is good. It wants to come out. It wants to be expressed the right way. If you're struggling with porn addiction, let's say, as a guy, and you feel you want to go out there and date women, but you only want sex, you don't want any relationships, chances are you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You watched porn for too long, and you want to get that energy out. You want that experience. You want to be inside of a woman's body as fast as possible. And then you're going to make mistakes. If you have the wrong intentions to approach women, you will pay the price. You have to have the raw, very vulnerable, strong intention to connect with a woman and to wanting to meet up with her and to get to know her and to feel out her energy and then become intimate with her. You don't want to scare her off. You don't want to violate her. You want to listen to your instincts, but not to any sick extension of your addiction. So you have to be brutally honest with yourself, with how you project yourself and how you present yourself, and the deep intention you have when you want to unite with a woman. All too often, we go out there and want to date and have the wrong intentions. And this is where women become very angry and upset and fearful, and then end up rejecting you because maybe you are not aware of this weird intention that you actually have in meeting up with a woman. You have to become brutally honest with yourself that you want a deep connection, that you want to feel understood and supported, that you want to feel uplifted sometimes. And at the same time, you want to do exactly this for the other part, for the feminine and the masculine part that you want to unite with. And as a woman, you have to be brutally honest when you go out and date. What do you want? Are you still thinking that you can trick a guy into a relationship with sex? Are you still thinking that it is not a good thing to be upfront with a guy and telling him what you are available for and what not? We have to learn to empower ourselves again. We have to learn to be confident again with what we want and what we need. We cannot shy away from this because it is bringing too much drama into this world that is unnecessary suffering. So if you are a woman living in your feminine energy, in a beautiful feminine aura, then at times you have to be confident and you have to trust your masculine energy to clearly express what you need and want. So, I hope it was not too confusing with all those energy talks. I hope you can make sense of this. My main point is that we have to come together again. We have to ask more questions. We have to make less assumptions and trust that we want the same from each other. We want to feel understood. We want to feel nurtured. We want to feel uplifted, and maybe even create a business or a family, build something together. But first, we have to trust ourselves. We have to trust our intentions. Second, we have to know ourselves better. And thirdly, we have to not be scared of clearly expressing our desires, not your fears. Stop feeling and being caught in what you don't want and blaming and shaming other people, but start expressing what you want. Thank you so much for listening to the Borealis Experience. If you resonate with this, please share with loved ones. Leave me a review on Apple Podcast, and I will be out there very soon again. Thank you so much.